Welcome, students. So today we will be talking about the two basic main topics of biology. First is protein. So protein is the most important topic examiner asks you. And protein synthesis is also included in inheritance topic. It is also included in biotechnology. It is also included in enzymes. So protein it comes everywhere in the biological molecules also. So let's just study for the first and the final time. So what are proteins? Proteins are the building blocks of life. Without protein, we are nothing. Our muscles is made of protein. Our cells have mitochondria made of protein. Our cells have ribosomes made of protein. Our cells have cell membrane made of protein. Plant cells have cell wall made of protein. Bacteria cell flagella made of protein. Bacteria cell flag made of protein. So every single structure in our body is made of proteins. That's final. So what is protein made of? That comes in this heading: polymer and monomer. What I mean by this arrow, I mean that when a group of monomers combine, they form polymer. And what is the polymer? Protein. So if I say monomer is the building block of protein, that won't be wrong. And the building block of protein is amino acid. So now if we keep a look on this, when a group of amino acids combine, they form a protein molecule. So I say this is an enzyme. Enzymes are made of proteins. So I can say enzyme is also made of amino acids because protein itself is made of amino acids. So if we say what is the building block of protein, if I say what is the building block of protein or what is protein made of, that will be the same. If I say what is the monomer of protein, that will be amino acid. But if I say what is the building block of protein, the answer will remain same: amino acids. So what is protein actually? Amino acid actually. There are 20 types of amino acids. 2 names are included in our syllabus, 18s are not. Those 2 we will study in the topic of biological cell in sickle cell anemia. No need to memorize any of the name of amino acids. Just remember there are 20 types of amino acids. There in 20 types of amino acids there are 2 types. Amino acid is also divided into 2 things: essential amino acids, I will write the short form, and non-essential amino acids. So what I mean by non-essential and essential amino acids, by saying essential and non-essential means, like essential means our body needs it because our body doesn't make that type of amino acids. If there are 10 proteins, 10 are essential, 10 are not essential. What I mean, these 10 our body cannot make. These 10 our bodies make. Those amino acids which our body could make, those amino acids which our body could make is known as non-essential amino acids because we don't need it in our diets. If we don't take those 10 types of amino acids, that means we don't need that type of amino acid. Our body already makes that amino acid. But essential means we need it. To make that protein, we need that amino acid through our diet because our body cannot make it. So it's really essential for us to take it in our diet. So essential, our body requires it and cannot make it itself. Amino acid itself is made. The process of making amino acid is not included in O levels, otherwise it is included in A levels or any further studies. But how proteins are made? Proteins are made inside the cell. There are 20 types of amino acids. Some type of amino acids are essential, some are non-essential. What I mean by essential and non-essential, essential are those which we really need in our diet to make that protein, to make that amino acid. But some amino acids are those which we don't need in our diet because our body already makes it. So that I means by non-essential and essential. Essential, those which our body needs it because they cannot make it. They cannot make it. Non-essential means those which our body makes and we don't need in our diet. So now moving on the 20 types of amino acids. When just suppose this is amino acid A, this is amino acid A, this is amino acid B, this is amino acid C. This makes a protein. When I put the combination of amino acid, one amino acid to another, with another, 4 amino acids put together, they form a type of protein. Let's say it makes a hormone. Let's say it's make a hormone. This makes a hormone A. What this make? This make hormone A. What combination? When I put amino acid A with A amino acid, with B amino acid, with C amino acid, this make hormone A. Now I put A, C, B, A. This makes a hormone B. So what I mean by saying all this rubbish, I mean that by even changing a single amino acid, it totally changes the product. It totally changes the protein. If I, for example, A, this makes a different protein. 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 So this means I can put a amino acid, different amino acids and different combinations, and it will give me a totally different answer, totally different protein type. So I hope you all understand what I meant to say. Like, the type of proteins we need totally depends on the amino acid combination. If I put A, B, this is hormone A, B, A, this is hormone B, A, this is hormone C. This means that amino acids require different combinations to make different proteins. Like A does not make enzymes. They are specific combinations that make different types of proteins. That's all. Then we should know, rubbing all this except those examples. If you see, what is this? How this amino acid is kept with this amino acid. There's a special bond between these two amino acids. What is that bond name? Amide bond. It's just for your knowledge. Examiner can't ask you this name, but you don't need to know what is amide bond. You just need to know that amino acids are kept together by amide bond. There's another name, peptide linkage. Peptide linkage. There are two names. Either amino acid will be kept through amide bond or peptide linkage. These are the two bonds through which two amino acids are kept together. Let's repeat. These all combinations are different, means different products. If I even change a single amino acids, if I change B amino acid to C, new product. If I change B by A, different product. So this means by changing combinations of amino acids gives us different proteins. This means there will be millions of different proteins. You don't remember that all. So now let's move on protein. We are done with that monomers. We are done about the study of monomer, that is amino acid. Now let's move on the study of polymer, that is protein. So I hope you all understand this topic. So now let's move on. What is the example definition of protein? Let me write that first. Now what I mean by this definition, let's explain. Peptide chain of amino acid is called protein. What is peptide chain? I take that name here. Amino acids are kept together by amide bond and peptide bond. Without these two, it will break apart. There will be no protein because there will be nothing bond that will be attaching these amino acids. So when this peptide bond chain that is keeping them, this chain that is held by peptide bond, a chain of these peptide bonds is made of amino acid is called proteins. I hope you all understand what I mean. I will repeat. This is an amino acid. This is a chain of amino acid. But when it is attached by a peptide, this makes the peptide chain of amino acids, because these amino acids are held by peptide bond. Otherwise, it would be like this. But it was held side by side due to peptide bond. I hope you all understand this topic. Now, there were two types of amino acid and there are two types of protein. So, what are the two types of protein? There are functional proteins which perform function, and there is another type of protein that is known as structural type. Structural type that makes structures. So, what are the functional proteins? I hope I have studied at least two. One is hemoglobin, second one is enzyme, and the third one I took the name before, hormones. These are the functional proteins because they perform a function. Hemoglobin is basically a protein, is a name of a protein. So that protein performs a function. What is that function? To take blood from lungs to heart. So this is the function of hemoglobin. So this is a functional protein. So hemoglobin is a functional protein. Enzymes are made of proteins. So enzymes made of protein. So what does that mean? It's a function, but enzymes are basically what? Proteins. They are held together by amide bond or peptide linkage. So it performs a function. It breaks a substrate into products. So that would be a functional protein. Hormones determines what, like thyroxine, TSH is also her hormone. We will study in later in the endocrine system or hormone system. So functional proteins, enzyme, hormone or hemoglobin. These are all the examples. No need to memorize any other example. Now structural types. Structural proteins are those proteins which makes a structure. I took the name of flagellin many times in this video or previous videos, which is also protein. So flagellin is a protein that makes a structure, which is flagella. So any protein that participates in a structural level is known as, what is this known as? Structural protein. What is the example? Keratin. If you have ever heard of keratin treatment or any shampoos that has written keratin on it, or you have asked or a hawker or a street vendor that do you have a keratin rich shampoo? So what is keratin? Keratin is a structural protein that supports your hairs. So hair is a structure and the protein that supports that structure is keratin. So keratin is basically a structural protein. Now you can say if you're having a keratin treatment, that means hair more stronger, which means keratin strengthen the hairs. Now second, collagen. These all names are legitimate, possible, present in your syllabus. Collagen. The third type is actin and myosin. Collagen. Collagen makes bones. Your bones are strengthened by calcium as well as by collagen. Collagen as well as hairs. Hairs also have collagen. Remember this. Teeth also are made of collagen. If you tell your dentist that I have a tooth, if I have any infection or in my tooth, or there is any type of cavity in my tooth, it will give you a tablet of a collagen rich diet, because teeth are supported by collagen. Collagen is a protein. Now is actin and myosin. If any of you going to a gym, you will be knowing this name, because actin and myosin are responsible to build muscles. If any of you buys a protein bars, study the label behind it. It will be written rich in actin and myosin. What does this mean? Because actin and myosin are proteins that build up muscles. So I hope you all understand what basically I want to teach you. Thank you for watching my video. Bye guys.